Physics Science class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Nigambu branch. Dear children, today we are going to do Unit 4, that is energy in day-to-day life, right? So you all know children, we need energy to do our day-to-day activities, okay? Without energy, we can't do anything. So we will move on children. So what is this energy? Okay, so you all know children, to move a desk, to pull a table, to pull a chair, you need energy. Without energy, you can't do anything, right? So what is this energy? Energy means children, the ability to do a work or to produce a change. Okay, so we'll see children. This picture is showing children, one child is kicking a football, right? So when you kick a football, it will start to move, right? So this is a stationary object. The ball is stationary. It's not moving. But when you kick, when you apply a force, when you apply energy, it will start to move. So that means to move a stationary object, you need energy. So the second picture is showing children, this child is trying to catch a ball, right? So the ball is moving, so when this child catches the ball, it will stop, right? So to stop a moving object also, we need energy. So this person is playing cricket. So we all know children, when we hit the ball with the bat, the ball which is moving to one direction will go to another direction, right? So to change the direction of a moving object, we need energy. Okay, so this picture is showing children, one child is cycling. So when this person is riding the bicycle slowly, the bicycle is moving slowly. But when this person is riding fast, the bicycle will move fast. So that means when you want to change the speed of a moving object also, you need energy. So the final conclusion is children, we need energy to do everything. So now we are going to see different types of energy children. So this is wind energy, right? So this is something that you know. This is a wind propeller. I hope you all have prepared this one in your primary classes. So after preparing a wind propeller, if you hold it to the wind, when it is blowing, the wind propeller will start to rotate. Okay, so that means the final conclusion is children, wind energy can do a task children. So, this is another practical children, okay. Preparing a solar thermal stove box children, right. So, I am going to tell you how to prepare a solar thermal box stove. For that children, you all have to take a piece of cardboard, then this is the size children. One side should be 30 centimeters long and the other side also should be 30 centimeters long. Then children, you all have to draw a small square at the right middle and its size should be 10 centimeters each side. So then children, you all have to take a scissor, then you all have to cut along these lines children. Then you all be able to remove the sections or the portions that I have mentioned as A, B, C and D. Okay. Then children, you all have to take an aluminium foil. Then you all have to paste it on the back side of this cardboard piece. Then children, you all have to take your glue bottle. Then you all have to apply glue on these lines. Okay. Right. Then children, you all have to prepare the solar thermal box stove by using the sections on which you all have applied glue. When you are preparing the solar thermal box stove children, make sure that you keep the side on which you have pasted the aluminium foil as the inside of the solar thermal box stove, right? So it will look like this children then. This is a solar thermal box stove or a solar thermal cooker, the same thing, right? Then children, we'll see how we can use this one, right? So after preparing this one, you all can take a piece of wire, then you all can tie it on the two ends of the solar thermal box stove. Then children, by using a piece of thread, you can hang a yogurt cup at the right middle of the solar thermal box stove, right? Then children, you all can fill the yogurt cup with water. Then children, you all have to keep this outside in a place where it gets sunlight. So after about half an hour, you can take a thermometer, then you can measure the temperature of the water. Then you all can see children, the temperature is rising little by little, right? So in developed countries, not in Sri Lanka, in developed countries, people use solar thermal stove boxes to cook their daily meals. So in that also we are using solar energy to cook food, right? So sources of energy. What are sources of energy, children? Sources of energy means, children, the things that can produce energy, the things that can make energy. So this is one example, sun. You all know, children, sun is the primary source of energy. So the second one is wind. Okay, wind is another source of energy that can be used to produce electricity. So sea waves. You all know, children, sea waves can be used to produce current. The next one is, children, tidal waves. Tidal waves also can be used to produce current, children. So all these four things are different sources of energy. So our first source of energy is the sun, right? So earlier I told you, children, sun is the primary source of energy, a thing that can produce energy, children. So sun can give out two types of energies. One is heat energy, the other one is light energy. So altogether you can call them as solar energy. Heat energy and light energy can be known as solar energy together. So children, for our day-to-day activities, we need solar energy. We use solar energy. So now we are going to see what are the instances where we use this solar energy. You all know, children, after washing your clothes, you have to dry them, children. So to dry your clothes, you hang them on a rope, children. So that means we use solar energy. The next one is photosynthesis. So you all have learned, children, that plants need sunlight or solar energy to produce their own food by using the photosynthesis process. Then children, some people have fixed solar panels onto their roofs, children. So by using these solar panels, they are going to produce current. Okay, so solar energy is getting converted to electric energy. So that means to produce electricity, to produce current, we need solar energy. So have you seen, children, some calculators are there which have solar panels attached to those. So these solar panels need solar energy. So these calculators are working by using solar energy. So if solar energy is not there, children, we can't do anything, right? So let's use solar panels. I hope you all have seen solar panels, children. This is a solar panel which is fixed to a roof, right? So if you carefully observe the solar panel, you can see it's having tiny squares on it, children. Squares which are connected to each other. So each square can be known as a solar cell, right? So solar panel means it's a collection of solar cells. So these solar cells are converting solar energy to electric energy. That's how we get electric energy. So the second type of source of energy is biomass. Biomass means, children, plant or animal materials which can be used as fuel. Okay, this is something that you are very much familiar with, children. So this is straw. You all know, children, straw or hay means if you keep a lighted matchstick closer to some straw, children, quickly it will catch fire, right? So that means straws can be used as a fuel. So it's an example for a biomass. So the next one is rice bran. The same thing, children. If you keep a lighted matchstick closer to some rice bran, quickly it will catch fire, right? So it can be used as a fuel. So sawdust, firewood, you all know they can catch fire easily. In your heart, I hope you all have seen how firewood creates fire, children, how they catch fire easily. So these are some examples for biomass. Okay, the plant and animal materials that can be used as a fuel. So these are some other examples, children. Rotten vegetables, I hope you don't like them, children. Rotten fruits, agricultural waste, they also catch fire easily. So they also can be used as a fuel. So these are some more examples for biomass. Okay, the next one is something that is very much nice, children. So this is a practical which you all had to do in your houses or in the school, children. Okay, in the past, people cooked their food by using a soda stove. Another name is, children, kudulippa. The same thing, children. Okay, in the past, people were not that much wealthy, so they cooked their food by using a soda stove, which is also known as kudulippa, children. Now I am going to tell you how to prepare a kudulippa at home. Okay, so for that you all have to take a metallic tin. Then in that you all have to cut a hole somewhere closer to the bottom, right? Then, children, you all have to take somewhat large 2 PVC tubes. Then you all have to keep them inside the metallic tin to have a L shape. Then, children, you all have to fill the metallic tin by using sawdust. While you are filtering the metallic tin with sawdust, children, make sure that you crush it tightly for not to let even one single empty space remaining. Okay, so once you have filled the metallic tin with sawdust, you all can remove the PVC tubes slowly. For that, you all have to be very much patient. The person who's removing the vertical PVC and the person who's removing this horizontal PVC should remove them together slowly. Then once you remove these 2 PVC tubes, you will see an L shape. This is an L shape, children. L shaped hole will remain at the right middle of the metallic tin, which is filled with sawdust. Then, children, once you have this hole, you all can insert some pieces of paper or dry leaves of trees from here. Then you can light them up. Okay, so once you light a matchstick and keep it closer, they will quickly catch fire. Then finally, the sawdust, which is also catching fire, will catch fire. Then, children, can you see this picture? This is how you can cook your meals by using a kudulippa, right? So once you light the piece of paper here, the sawdust is catching fire, then the flame will come through this hole. Then you can keep your pot or the vessel in which you are having meals on top of it, children. Then you can get them cooked. So this is the next type of energy source, children, which is fossil fuel. Okay, you all know, children, in the past, so many animal materials and plant materials have got buried inside the deep earth, children, inside the earth. But today, when they are subjected to very much high temperature and high pressure, they get turned or they get converted to fossil fuels. So these are the types which we are using these days, children. Coal, you all know, children, in the past we had coal-powered trains. So those trains were working with the energy which is produced by coal. Okay, so coal means it's a type of fuel. So this is another type, diesel. You all know, children, your vans, containers, they all work with diesel. So petrol, your cars, they work with petrol, children. So LP gas, it is something that you know very much clearly, children. Your mothers cook their meals by using the LP gas. I hope you all have a LP gas cylinder at home, right? So these are some examples for fossil fuel, children. Okay, so these are made by plant and animal materials which have been buried inside the earth millions of years ago, children. Okay. So this is the other type of energy source, wind, something very much familiar to you, children. Okay, so there are different instances where we use wind. Okay, so for drying clothes, children, we need wind. Then this is a winnowing fan. You all know, children, in the past people had paddy fields. So for winnowing paddy, children, they used wind. So this is grinding grains, children. In the past, people used these windmills to grind their grains, producing current, children. In the past and as well as in the present, children, people use power stations which are empowered with wind to produce current. So this is the other type of energy, children. You all know this one very much clearly, children. In hydropower stations, current is produced by running water. Okay, so the energy, which is the kinetic energy stored in running water, is used to produce current. So this is a practical, children. You all can try it at home. So preparing a mini hydropower station. I know we can't produce hydropower stations at home, children, but we can produce mini hydropower stations, children. Okay, for this one, children, the yellow color circle is showing, children, a turbine. Okay, for that you can use a piece of frigiform. Then to that piece of frigiform, you can fix some yogurt spoons, children. Then you all can put a rubber band around the piece of frigiform, children. Then you all have to take a small motor. Then you all have to put the rubber band around the small piece of the motor. Then, children, you all have to connect the motor to a LED. Then once you have prepared this mini hydropower station, you all can keep it under a tap, and when you open the tap, the water is flowing down. So what is happening to the turbine? It will start to rotate. So when the turbine is rotating, the rubber band will also rotate, and when the rubber band is rotating, the small piece of the motor will rotate. Then when the motor is rotating, children, it will generate current. So with that current, finally the LED is getting lighted. So that means by using running water, by using the energy stored in running water, we can produce current. So the next type of energy source is, children, sea waves. In Sri Lanka, of course, we don't use the energy stored in sea waves. But in some other developed countries, they use the energy which is stored in sea waves, children. In those countries, they have floating power plants, children. That means the power plant is floating on water. Then, children, can you remember in the year 2004, on 26th of December, children, we had the tsunami. Okay, the energy which was stored in sea waves did a great destruction to our country as well. So that means we can identify, we can know, children, that sea waves are also having a large amount of energy stored in that. So that energy can be used to produce current. So tidal waves, children. Tidal waves means there are two types of tidal waves, high tide and low tide. High tide means, children, the level of the sea is rising, and low tide means, children, the level of the sea is decreasing. So when the level of the sea is rising, children, people get that water to fill the tanks which are built on land. So when low tide is there, children, the sea water is going back to the sea. So children, tidal waves can also be used to produce current. So not in Sri Lanka's, children, in some other developed countries, they have floating power plants which are working with the energy which is stored in tidal waves. So with that energy, they are able to produce current. So this is the last type of energy source, children, geothermal energy. As well as tidal waves, children, we don't use geothermal energy in Sri Lanka because the technology is not that much developed. But in this one, children, I'll tell you how this one is working. So, you all know, children, if you consider about the earth, some part of the earth some parts of the earth are very hot, children. So, in those areas, people send cool water into the earth by using metallic pipes, children. So when cool water is sent, as the earth's crust is very much hot, children, the cool water is getting heated. So once the water is heated, they are going to get back the water not as cool water but hot water, children. So when hot water comes, children, you all know from hot water normally steam is getting released. So they are going to collect that steam, then with that steam they are going to rotate the turbine. So the turbine is connected to a generator. So as you all know, children, generators can produce current. With this method, children, people can produce current by using the geothermal energy. Geothermal energy means the energy which is stored in the earth is used to produce current. So, this is the next type of energy, children, nuclear energy. In Sri Lanka, children, we don't use this energy type because you all can say, children, a huge smoke is being emitted. So, Sri Lanka is a small country, so we don't have enough space to give them to do their nuclear experiments because our country is small. So, in developed countries, children, people use nuclear energy to produce current. The nuclear energy is emitted as heat energy, children. So that heat energy is used to heat water. So with that steam, children, a turbine is rotated and that turbine is being connected to a generator. Just as the geothermal energy, the generator is producing current. So, and the other thing is, children, our country is not that much wealthy, so we can't afford to have nuclear power stations, children. So now I have told you about many types of energy sources, children. So though there are a large number of energy sources, children, the thing that you should know is we have to save these energies or energy sources for the future generation. Okay, so that is our responsibility. Otherwise, our future generation won't be able to use these energies. So for that, there are different methods, children. I have included 3 methods. So use public transport system. So without using your own vehicles, children, if you are able to use public transport, you all can save energy, children. Closed taps. You all know running water is having an energy. So when you see a tap which is open and when no one is using, you can close it, children. Then switch off unnecessary bulbs, children. When there is no one in the room, if the bulb is being lighted or if the fan is rotating and if you see them, you all can close them, children. So that's the end of our lesson, children. I hope to meet you next week with a new lesson. Thank you.